was the last time where I was confused as fuck. Sick.
Huh?
You sure you're not even sharing your screen?
Oh yeah.
I'm just kind of talking to the ether.
I forgot. Alright, there we go.
Yes.
Alright. So we're gonna watch this, right?
Wow.
Draft League number 2.
You got some sick internet, dude.
Thanks. It's my computer, actually. It's not really the internet. Yup.
He's done it.
Okay, hold on. Let me, best YouTube video of all time 2. Did none of that go?
Nope.
What the hell? Alright, nice. Pokédex.
These need to be. I haven't, other than deleting the megas, I haven't done anything.
You need to be what?
I said, other than deleting the megas, I haven't done it. This is just like the base 170 plus forms that are in the game.
Raichu, my boy. Can't believe they did him this so dirty. That's so fucked up.
I can't wait for Psychic Surge, Mega Raichu X, or it's X and Y. I don't even know if it's X and Y, but I think it's X in the next one. I guess that'll be Reg B.
Would bump up to like 4. So much utility.
I can't delete these. I can resolve them. I guess I wanted to delete them.
Resolving is
Also,
not
Sableye's like broken. It was originally like a 2, but that mon is stupid good.
non-mega drill is getting a ton of usage. Dude, I ran into. I finally ran into it. Fucking entrainment fissure bullshit today.
Where are you on the ladder? Are you qualified to speak on
Not really, no. I just played
this? Fire.
this morning. I haven't won that
Okay,
many games, but
that's respectable. I won my 50th game today, so I'm like 50 wins behind Justin or something, but above him on the ladder, and that's what matters.
Wait, what?
Justin already had his 50th win, I believe, like days ago.
That's funny. Palafin. I'll say it. Palafin's dog water.
I think Palafin's quite bad.
Where's
I think a lot of the things up here are quite bad. Dragonite, terrible Pokemon. Froslass is definitely not valued as a mega because I just had its form at like a 3. It's in here somewhere.
Because I've been using a Froslass team. That's why.
Also, Froslass didn't show up. Did I just fully delete
I found
that?
it. 117.
Can't.
2. Froslass is only 2. That's huge for me.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to fix. I just said that. I have to fix I just made them all. I literally filtered to Mega, hit Control Shift down, and deleted them.
Well, that's gonna be rough. I don't even.
I mean, I can revert it back. People desire, but
Revert it back. I want to see what it looked like.
how do you do this? Last edit? Oh yes, this. When did I do this? Thank God I'm the only one who does it. No, we're gonna figure this out. I do it yesterday or did I do it like days ago? Let's see this. How bad could it possibly? There you go. See Mega Flow out on your screen.
Yup.
Where is Sableye? Because I changed his. I'm leaving Mega Sableye at 1 because it's way worse than regular Sableye.
What's its ability?
Magic Bounce.
Ew.
Yeah, it loses quite literally 100% of its utility. It's actually terrible. What was the other? Oh, Excadrill.
I think we should.
Oh, I did have regular Excadrill at it too. That's quite funny.
Can we just make Mega Gyarados like 15 just to piss Justin off?
Yeah, Tyranitar is a 30, and Mega Gyarados is a 19, and he can draft one other Pokemon.
So like,
do you know what his 16 what his 6-mon team is? All I know is there's a Volk, a Mega Gyara, and a Tyranitar. I assume he threw like Drill on. Why else have a Tyranitar?
And he had, I think he said he got an Insun.
Oh, that's a real Pokemon. He's 1 for 5 on real Pokemon. Good for him. I have a lot of opinions on this format, if that isn't apparent.
Okay, well, what are they? John's opinions. It's not coming up on Google. My entire fucking Google broke. Okay, we're back. We're so back.
Oh, I didn't even hear you. Why are you Googling John's opinion? Okay, hilarious AI overview, Phil.
What? That's crazy.
All right, we're 20 minutes into recording, and Elijah's making.
I'm making a what?
In the schedule, the agenda.
Oh, agenda. All right, number 1, Pokemon. Number 2, I don't know. I have like no real structure now that I don't have to teach people how to play the game.
Didn't you message me the other day and say,
yes,
I have. You lied.
wait. What do you think that I said?
You said, because like I have some things to say, but I haven't exactly prepared myself in any way. I assumed that meant you had agenda. I assumed you were going to talk shit on like building or something. That's really what I was strapping in for here, but I didn't know what that meant.
I was going to talk shit on building?
I don't know. That's what I assumed. I could have been wrong. You didn't like building a team. Oh. Alex isn't going to watch this, right? We can insult him.
Oh yeah. Fuck that guy. Is he participating?
No, I have Justin. It's on tab, teams and rosters and standings, but it's John, Justin, Brandon, Sam, Elijah, Hunter from the last one, then Colin, and then Brandon's little friend, who I know nothing about.
Nice. I guess Nick doesn't want to do it again because he like hates not.
Like, he ignored every single message I sent, so I assumed he didn't want to, which is fine. Like, let him cook, but
Um, 10 Mons.
we can do the draft order live on air. That'll at least be some content.
Like right now.
Oh, I guess I don't know if Spoiler is joining as a ninth person or not. I did send them a text. So I guess we can do draft order live on air.
All right, draft order. Me first.
I genuinely, after doing the draft before, I actually don't think the draft order matters in the slightest.
I mean, that's like obviously not true.
It matters in the sense of it's easier to execute what you want to do, but like for the most part, if you have like two plans, you can just do them all at
Yeah,
time.
yeah, that's true. Okay, well, what makes sense? Just doing the winnings.
I don't know.
Like Eli. Oh, Eli's not participating. Yeah, that
Correct.
means Justin would be. So like Justin, then you, then.
I'm 90% sure it's like in order, minus Colin and PJ. Because all I did was delete the people who weren't in this anymore. Like, this is the exact same spreadsheet.
I mean, I feel like that just makes the most sense to do.
Yeah, that's not really.
Okay. Raichu. Gave it to Sam.
Happened.
Expected Meg. What the fuck does that mean? What do these mean? What's happening here?
What?
What's expected Meg, expected Reg?
Oh, you can. So that was me. Like I said, I tried to map out a distribution that like vaguely mirrored what we did last time. This was all the math, but I did it on another spreadsheet and then copied it over here. It was a whole thing. I just have this here as a point of reference. All you need to know is that if you look at the columns A and E, that is we have the exact same amount of 10 cost. We have 4 less. Count blah blah.
More ones. So like.
Wait. No, we have less. We have less 21. We have less 1.
Oh.
I think the budget low-key will be fine. I'm not really that because again, like I said earlier, like I think almost everything has at least like non-zero viability, as opposed to last time where we had a heinous amount of stinker.
Yeah, that's true. Should I get Toxapex again and then bring it and throw again?
I've been talking up regular Frostlass. I had that on my team. I didn't bring it once.
Megalopony 6. That should probably be like 15. So like
Gunnar.
I don't know. I don't know how to value these if we're not value Muns.
I feel you just have to go off the mega. You have to go off the higher of the regular or the mega value. Of course, most of this was like arbitrary through my brain, and then like Eli checked. And I think Sam read this.
So then, are we just deleting the normal version?
Well, like for Excadrill, like the normal version is better, so I feel like you have to take the higher price. Crazy. What else is a better mega? Sable or worse mega? Sableye like a worse mega.
We're just letting. If you draft them on, you're allowed to mega it if you want, but you
yeah, that's that seems to be what the people want. That if you draft them on, you can do whatever you want with it. I am not conceding the if you draft one Rotom, you have 12 Rotoms. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
That's crazy.
Except Charizard. I think if the way it was presented, you have to declare if you're drafting to use X or to use Y, which is lame because I think it's just because Charizard's the only dual one. You can't just have another thing I'm not conceding, having both Megastones available to Charizard. So I build a Spadef Clef and just get one shot by a Flare Blitz, I would crash out.
Why wouldn't we just have them be separate?
I mean, we can do that too, but then Justin gets mad because then he's not the only person with Charizard.
Well, tell him to get over it.
I mean, I think that's stupid too. You don't have to tell me.
Oh, well, we're the winners here. We're the ones with the choice that matters.
Everyone has edit access to the spreadsheet. They can do whatever they want.
Okay, well, don't tell them
that. What's on recording? Who is going to watch this video? We're covering no content.
Yeah, well, look, I'll edit it better. It'll be well edited this time. That's not true. It's like definitely false.
Yeah, you did. That's fine.
Okay, anyway. So, I think we should just leave it how you had it. Except
with what?
Except like remove. Yeah, just delete whichever one's the lower value, but keep everything megas and stuff.
Forever, but I can do that later. It won't be like the most miserable task. I can give it to an intern.
Give it to an intern. I feel like that just makes the most sense.
I mean, yeah. It's as good as it's going to be. So. I don't know anything about it. I don't even know what that thing's ability is.
I went up against someone that
there's no way it's iron.
With Protect, Foul Play, Moonlight, and Toxic.
English Pokemon, nice.
and they were running Sun, and it just it did so much nothing the whole game. It was awesome.
Yeah, Umbreon's horrible. It's an ignorable Pokemon. I lost to a Mega Victory Bell today with fucking Sapsipper, and it was in a 1v1 against my it was in a 1v2 against my Garchomp and my Primarina, but my Primarina couldn't touch it. It was doing like 30 with Blast. It just kept Sapsippering my Chomp. I was like, I'm just forfeiting. I'm not sitting through this hoping to crit. I'd rather die.
Damn. Did you play singles at all? Because like there were
I'm like
so
ball.
I touched it slightly.
It's like Battle Spot, a lame format. I think it's bad because if you like lead wrong, you just auto lose. I think doubles has more counterplay to it. But yeah, I think I'm Great Ball or something in it. I'm gonna hit Master Ball by the end of the season just to say I did it in both time because I think it's quirky but very fun.
I accidentally killed a spider today.
Like an Ariados or like a real people spider?
Like a real people spider.
It's depressing.
Yeah, I put it in a candle. Not lit. An unlit candle. And then put the lid on and was like, okay, I'm just going to leave him there and I'll go take him outside later. And then I forgot him and he suffocated.
Oh. Brother. You really put that on recording. Someone cut that out in post.
What? It's a reasonable thing to do. It was a mistake.
I didn't realize I made him Fernie before. He's not Pokemon. He's a dog though.
How is your Alright. How has your Champions experience been so far? What do you think of the meta? Let's talk
I think it's gas. I think it's like lame that they removed all the items just because I've been playing for 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
but the actual like I think it is well balanced and enjoyable and fun. Like nothing feels overwhelming. There's so many people playing that the meta changes like daily. Like the team I used to get Master Ball is like completely unviable now, and I refuse to change it because I'm lazy. But I think the format's really. I think the Pokemon in general, like they picked a really good set of like 170 or whatever to throw in here, and I think it's just a very rewarding type of meta to play, which I think all the low power ones are really. Like I liked early Scarlet Violet, blah blah blah, but uh, I like how slow the games are. Like it's not just you're throwing a box legendary out and it's picking up like an Oko on some like a resist or something ridiculous. Like everything really, other than like Mega Floette, if it is allowed to set up, but I don't think it's really that overpowering. You just have to build with it in mind. Run spread moves, run stalwart, like that kind of stuff.
What mega
How's
have
life
you
in?
tried running?
Running. I haven't. I don't want to keep like burning VP, so it's really just Floette's what got me to Master Ball. And I was running Dragonite because it was free. In singles, I've been running Skarmory and Greninja, and they've both felt really good in singles. I don't really think either one of them's a doubles mon though.
Yeah. The item that I feel like I wouldn't have expected to care at all that it's gone, that I have actually found myself missing the most, is loaded dice. Cause like,
That's an interesting take.
yeah, I mean, I know that like obviously those moves are way better when you have loaded dice, but also just it being so unpredictable is rough. Like I was running a Dragonite with Scale Shot for a bit, and just like he either does like a quarter of their HP or he kills them. Like it's very, I don't know. I mean, obviously there's plenty of other items that I would rather they add to the game than that item, but I didn't
I mean,
expect to care at all that it was gone, and I've missed it a little bit.
I feel like loaded dice, like that's a newer item, just in general. Like that didn't exist before
Yeah.
Scarlet Violet, I think. Um, but yeah, adding any kind of consistency to those multi-hit moves definitely nice. I think Dragonite specifically is a mon that has been really. It looks totally different because I think Mega Dragonite's like pretty bad, and I think regular Dragonite is like almost stone unplayable. Like I played a lot of Reg H with the Scale Shot, Loaded Dice, Terra Fairy,
Mm-hmm.
Haze set, and I thought that was really good in Scarlet and Violet. Like just to be able to like chip something, get a little faster, get fast hazes off, like it had so much utility. Like, and you were never unless you were playing another one, and your only move was Scale Shot into a Terra Fairy Dragonite. Like it always felt like it was carrying its weight. Um, but yeah, now like I see regular Dragonite, I'm like, oh, you're gonna do 30% with extreme speed because you can't Terra and you can't Scale Shot because you're only gonna hit me twice.
Losing Terra is really hurting.
I love that there's no Terra in the game. I feel like it punishes people who position poorly so much better. Like just being able to like click close combat into King Gambit and not die to a flying move on the back end is the
Yeah,
most glorious feeling in the world.
that's valid. I miss it a lot, probably because I position poorly, but also just I don't know. I thought it was a very fun mechanic.
I mean, I don't like. I won't hate when Terra comes back, but just the thought of like, especially in closed team sheet, like sitting there and being like,
Especially
"Oh,
close
like if
team.
this Terra's to the water, like I'm
Yeah.
just gonna auto lose, and there's nothing I can do about it."
Yep.
It still exists in closed team sheet now. It's just different flavor. Like, oh, if this is like I played a Garchomp earlier. I was like, I haven't seen an item on this thing. Like, it could just be Focus Sash, and I will auto lose,
Mm.
and it wasn't. Still the same closed team sheet risk of like I positioned around what I expect it to be, but I have no idea what it
Dude,
is.
also fucking Quick Claw. I know that this is not a
Tell me you're low ladder without telling me you're low ladder.
it's just like crazy to me. The like I ran into a Rotom with Quick Claw earlier. It didn't end up doing anything. It activated once and it was into a Protect. But like, it's so silly. It's such a dumb item.
Well, I think they've definitely left that in to make newer people like they're gonna use it and it's gonna make them feel good when it works, and then they're gonna get enough dopamine release to keep playing the game until they realize it's
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Like that's the thought process, at least, which I think is fine. Like the only mon I am scared of in the entire format with a click claw is Torkoal, because if it comes out
Dude,
and
yeah.
it triggers and I die to eruption, I'm gonna break my.
Yeah.
What do you think of like the? I know this has absolutely nothing to do with the draft league, but what do you think of
The what?
the way you like recruit Pokemon?
Oh, it's fine. I wish there was more control. Like, I know there's the tickets system,
Hmm.
but you don't get them often. And also, just like, I don't know. Getting to see 10 Pokemon a day and keep one of them is not great.
Hmm.
I don't know.
When you say tickets, do you mean the affinity tickets or the
Yeah,
actual quick tickets?
yeah, the affinity tickets. Because, like, that
Yeah.
actually affects the mons you see. I don't know. Since it's so limited how many you see, I wish there was some way to control it more, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like for an enfranchised player who has two of everything, like it almost like I barely use it. Like I use it to complete my daily every
Yeah,
day and like temporarily recruit something and like see if I roll a shiny.
yeah.
But I have just quite literally transferred everything from home and am using those, and it's
Yeah,
I think
every
it's with
time I've gone to build a team, I've just gone from home. But
even like Brandon. He came over the other day to just like get used to the game with somebody who has already played it a lot. And
yeah.
I sent him like a Charizard, a Venusaur,
Hmm.
and like two other things. I was like, just have fun. I'm like pulling. I was telling Will this last night while we were at the Magic pre-release. I was like, I'm using like Rotoms that I bred in like 2016 that are like nicknamed the dumbest shit ever, and I like it's crazy that I'm like digging them up out of my home
That's
to throw them in
hilarious.
here and use them.
I'm using Wolf's Incineroar.
I forgot I had that until I was trying to find Pokemon for Brandon, and I saw it in my Violet, and I was like, "How is this not in my home? How am I not using this?"
um, I found. Alright, yeah, I brought a shiny Dragonite and Raichu over. And then when I was making my team this morning, I discovered that I had a shiny Frostlass. It's like kind of a horrible shiny, but it's, you know, clout or something.
It sparkles.
Yeah, it sparkles, exactly. Um, yeah. I. It's surprising to me the. Obviously, I'm not in Master Ball tier yet, but it's surprising me the amount that like Paris Trap worked, I guess. Because I don't know, on Showdown in previous formats, it's it's like you run into hyper offense a lot, and in this there's some of it, but a lot of the time it feels like there's just so much more opportunity. Because like you said, you're not getting one shot by fucking Miraidon.
Yeah, I mean, a low power format with the best Perish Trap Pokemon of
Yep.
all time in Mega Gengar definitely makes it better than it's been a lot before, which is cool. Like I think it's an important thing to get punished by earlier
Yeah.
of like if for a newer player to like learn that like oh like you actually have to like focus on picking kills and you just freely pivot into your resist kind of stuff.
Also, the amount of games that were won off of getting one Swords Dance off with King Gambit and just sucker punching every Pokemon ever is crazy.
Kingambit is very good, very
Where
good.
do you have him at? 9? Yeah, that feels right.
That it's flexible too. I think even for like something like this, it's good at what it normally does. But like if you need to do something different,
Yeah.
you can do it. I think it definitely loses like no Terra hurts it obviously because it has a 4x resist plus like some bad ones in like fire, ground, but and it I think it probably suffers from a lack of item with like
Yeah,
what's it
it's
I
just
don't
running Black
I don't know what
Closes all
Black
the time.
Light is. Yeah, I think like Chopple's probably pretty good on it,
Yeah.
Which I guess is a point I wanted to like actually bring up in relation to the draft league. Like these 4x resist berry or the resist berries that you're gonna run on your 4x resist are going to be used so much in this format. It's going to be
Yes.
bananas because there's only like
And
4 items you care about
and
really.
you
Like
can
it's
prep for them. I didn't even think about that. Like on Mons,
yeah, and like white herb
there's
might
things
be
to think about.
yeah, you get to use them to use against your opponent's Pokemon, but also like there isn't a lot. Like if your opponent doesn't have an Intimidator, like White Herb is probably mostly useless on a lot of Pokemon,
Yeah.
and like that's something that like in the game you're running on everything because Garchomp, Answers Incineroar, Sneasler, Triggers on Burden, like blah blah blah. But like beyond like Sash, Scarf, and then like a couple other things, like you're either running a Resist Berry or you're running the a Resist Berry or like just one of the 1.2 multipliers like Black Glasses, which probably aren't super good in draft unless you pick up a skill. Which I think is I am kind of sad. Like Assault Vest. I think that's a very crutch item to fall back on in a draft league of just like let's just make this thing bulkier and like lose protect.
Also,
But
like no band or glasses.
what was that?
No, like only one choice item. Also.
Yeah, no specs, no band,
Hmm. But
no wide lens either for called household.
yeah, for the mouse, poor guy. I haven't seen like any mice. Is he showing up a lot in Master Ball tier?
It only really matters if you're trying to support something specific because there is no pop bomb set and there's no like beat up target
Yeah.
really. Um, like I run it on my Floette because I want to get a Calm Mind up and like the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Um, and I have found Super Fang to be like pretty good because it breaks like Aerodactyl Sash and then it dies to Dazzling Gleam, like stuff like that. Um, but for the most part, like it's way more just a support mon than it's ever been before.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I've. I mean, I have only ran Clefable as a follow mirror so far. Are there?
Clef I think is good personally. I think it matches up well into a lot. Like there's like a couple Mega Agrons here and there, whatever. But like there was a lot of Arch early, but there's not a lot of Arch anymore. And then like what are you getting hit from? That's a steal move at this point, like nothing. So I mean it can gamut a little bit, but even sometimes they're running like protect, low kick, sucker, kowtow,
Yeah.
and then you wall that anyways.
Bro, where's Mega Audino?
Oh, it's row 185.
Only a one? No.
Mega Audino is if you're running Mega Audino, more power to you.
Oh, is Chandelure bad? I feel like there was a lot of I haven't run into any really, but there's a lot of like hype online. I feel like for people talking about this mon.
Well,
Seems
its
like
ability is useless because it's Infiltrator, and then its speed tier is like pretty bad, and it also like it loses to Incineroar, it loses to Garchomp. Being base 90 is just
yeah, base 90 is rough.
great.
And also like you're 31 IV'd. That is another interesting thing about champions. And I guess the way that Pokemon exists now, like that we've shrunk the range that stats can be.
Yeah, dude, the fact that an Incineroar can be one of 32 speeds, excluding natures, is kind of wild. Especially in this format, like being able to time your fake out, time your parting shots is like incredibly important. Like the speed that like constantly having to spend like 10 VP to make your Incineroar faster or slower is quite funny.
Yeah.
But it's easier than like in game having to you would have done this in Showdown in the past to finalize your team, but to like you'd have to go through and like remove all the EVs in the old game and then like add them back to where you want. Like this is definitely for very obvious reasons. I do think it does kind of suck not having the IVs, but I think we kind of all expected that for speed. Like the fact that there aren't 100 speeds you can be at, there's like 30
Yes.
is definitely worse.
Also, another thing about champions, rental teams kind of don't exist anymore, but you can still. I don't know. I feel like it's a fine place for it to be because since you don't have to like actually train the mons, it automatically does it for you. I think making it so you have to at least own the mon is reasonable. But I know a lot of people on Scarlet and Violet were using rentals all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I always use rentals on Scarlet and Violet when I was playing. Obviously, like I never attended a real people tournament, or you have to bring your own actual thing. I do think because you can train up your mon in like 10 seconds, that this replica team thing makes a lot of sense. It also allows you to like own the team, and like if you don't like a move, like you already have 5 of the Pokemon, you just change the move on the 6th, and then you have like your own version of this base team. Or like if the meta changes, you don't have to find like a new rental or something, like you have it already. But it does suck that like not everybody can use Mega Floette because you didn't spend 60 hours in ZA like I did. But
Yeah, I was looking at teams this morning and I realized that Float was on there. I was like, damn, I should probably finish ZA.
it's like Mega Floette's an interesting one. Like it is like baby. It's not even baby Xerneas. It's baby Fluttermane with no support moves, which is like kind of a healthy Pokemon when it's all said and done. So I don't think it's like the end of the world that not everybody can use it all the time. But it is kind of stupid if it is going to be like permanently pay gated behind
Is it
ZA. But I
the
also
same
get it.
as
Like
Delphox, where you just have to transfer in a ZA version and you get the stone and it works on any
correct.
Float, or do you have to
No,
use?
no. So there's only you get one Floette at the end. It's not even. It's like a post game wall. Like you have to finish the game and then do a bunch of other shit, and then you get it.
It
Um,
has to be that specific Float.
yeah, there's only one Eternal Floette in the game that you get. There are people like jetting them and like throwing hundreds of them on the GTS for like Pikachu's, but this is either here or there. Mine's real. Um, but I like it at its core. I think it's like a kind of healthy Pokemon. Like, yeah, it hits hard, but it also has base 87 defense. Like, I think we'll be okay here, people. And it's not like it's running like 47 different sets. Like, sure, you could be bulky with Draining Kiss, but like for the most part, like it's gonna click Calm Mind, it's gonna Dazzling Gleam you to death.
And it's not
But there's so much. There's a lot of like wide guard in the format. There's a lot of spread moves in the format. Like Aerodactyl is super good into Floette, which is part of the reason it's super popular right now. I think like Incineroar Fake Out Pressure like still matters to it. Like the fact, I think the worst part of it is that it is 102 speed. If it was like 98 speed, it would be borderline unplayable into like Megazard, into like Garchomp. Like underspeeding those would be horrible, but it doesn't.
Have you? Do you have a weather answer on your Float team? Because I feel
No,
like
I simply just want to win the game as fast as possible.
okay,
It is the most like cookie cutter brain dead team I think I've ever used. Going back to like Sword and Shield, like Aurora Veil Lapras shenanigans. Like I am trying to, I 6 games out of 10, like I'm leading Mouse Floette. I'm get a Calm Mind up, Mouse dies. I go into Talonflame, I Tailwind, and then like I either have to play around Wide Guard or I'm just dazzling gleaming and killing everything. Like it is so brainless and silly.
yeah, because I do. I don't know if I've played a single game where there hasn't been weather. like
Weather is very, very. My run to Master Ball was all with a rain team that like I built myself. This flood team is like mostly stolen, except I put Rock Slide on Garchomp. Back to my point of like replica team that you actually own everything is like kind of sick. Um, but yeah, I mean, weather is everywhere. A lot of my games are against Charizard, which like kind of sucks. But I feel like recently it's at least in Master Ball, like where I am, it's definitely trending away from weather, and it's a lot of like Kingambit, Sneasler, Aerodactyl offense,
Mm.
which is like boring to play against over and over again because like Aerodactyl just sits there and tailwinds and then rock slides 18 times until it falls off the field. But
There's also
I think good.
been this could just be because I'm low ladder still, but I have run into maybe one team that's tried to set up Trick Room. Like,
There
is
was a
that?
lot of Farig for me early.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's not a lot that benefits off Trick Room being up, I guess. Like, you can definitely get it up between Mimikyu, Hatterene, Farig. Like, there's definitely options to get it up, but then, like, what are you doing? Like, you're running Torkoal? Like, good luck, there's weather everywhere. Like, there's a Tyranitar,
Yeah.
Pelipper. So there's a lot of that where it's like, because there's no Ursaluna anymore, which is like the one thing you really wanted to get Trick Room up for in old formats. Like looking through the top of this list, what is the slowest mon here? 30 is Mega Abomasnow. And the only reason we have that even remotely high is because it's a weather setter. There's a base 60 Aegislash, but like Aegislash is kind of fine. In like a Tail Room setting, Primarina is base 60. I don't really want that in Trick Room most of the time. So like there's nothing good that you want to get Trick Room up for.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
And Farig doesn't have like hyper voice or anything, so it's kind of, or I mean, it has hyper voice, but it doesn't have throat spray, so it's never really hitting that hard.
Mm.
And like sometimes it's good. Like Sinistcha obviously can pivot and get Trick Room up, and then like just be slow and annoying and like heal itself and live forever, which is like a thing. But it's not like you're not building a team or Sinistcha doing that. It's just an option Sinistcha has.
Fake out also not ever having to worry about covert cloak. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it makes Whimsicott so much easier to deal with. Whimsicott in particular, like I still think it's really good because it still has like 37 moves that it can run at any given time in its closed team sheet, and obviously priority tailwind's always going to be good. But just being able to brainlessly click fake out into it is so nice.
Awesome. I love it. Don't have to worry about Terra Ghost. Don't have to worry about cover cloak. Incredible. Do you think? Let's see. Who's in this? We gained Colin, lost Nick, Alex, and also gained PJ.
And lost Ethan.
Right. Lost Ethan.
And Eli. You might.
I did not say that, but my brain counted it already. Okay. Well, that's one less really good person, one less favorite. I feel like Eli was the favorite going into last year.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think you're gonna run away with it this time? Are you gonna?
I didn't run away with it last time.
Justin down.
I think I think I drafted a very bad, which is like fine. Like the team was, but I didn't go. Like I just drafted like some bullshit balance that I like playing generally, and like Corviknight, Dondozo, like let me pivot around, let me do what I want. I think I'll probably do something different this time and try and I'll probably still try and play to my strengths, but I'll try and do like more defined strategies than just like tail room bulky offense or tailwind bulky offense. I didn't have a Trick Room option last time. So I think a lot of it is going to come down to I need to draft better, and then theoretically I should play better. I also think I know this. Obviously, like last time, I was the only person who, beyond like you and Eli, who had even like played Reg B. So the fact that I'm like much more, but like even then, like I wasn't super ingrained. Like I wasn't like I wasn't grinding film to like get ready for it. Like I just was like, oh, like hydrate, get Pokemon, whatever. I think being more ingrained into it, like watching a ton of the videos that I've been watching playing it, like I definitely have a much better idea of what's going on, like what's my head count game is so good now. I can just sit there and be like, oh, that's that's gonna do 60. What do I care?
Yeah, I need to put in a lot more time before I'm there. Also, just like speed in general, I've been fucking me up so bad recently. I feel like I've been running into the randomest, like fastest Pokemon ever of their type. Like a T-Tar outsped. I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but it shocked me. I was like, this thing must be scarfed or max speed, and I somehow have not max speed. Shit's crazy.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of. I mean, this is part of the closed team sheet
Yeah.
and stuff. Not that you can see someone's stats, but like you generally know what someone's going to be doing based on the set they're running.
Yeah.
But you never, best of one, like you never know.
Well, with your advanced knowledge, what do you think a good draft strategy is this year? Are you a?
You want me to self-report?
I don't want you to self-report. I'm just. What advice would you give? Would you say like pick one or two megas that you want to be running?
I mean, if we're doing this thing, if you don't have to declare your mega, you should probably have 3 options, and like one of them can be bad. Like I don't know, and by bad I mean like a bad mega, but just like something people have to think about, like mega. Like Garchomp is just way better all the time, but like Mega Garchomp is still like a very real Pokemon. It's just, the opportunity cost isn't worth it a lot of the time. But in something like this, like that opportunity cost is almost free, because if it matches up well into your opponent's your team, you could still just bring it. So I think like if we're not gonna have to declare that like we drafted a Mega specifically, like you should definitely leave the draft with like 3 at least. If not, I think there's 59.
59?
There's 59 Mega Pokemon that are legal.
And there's 9.
Some of them are like
so
Sharpedo.
With 6. We could each leave with 6 of our 10 Pokemon being Megas.
Yeah. I think like 3 is like the min. I think 4 is like a more realistic number to bring, but like you will not catch me dead with like I almost said Mega Ampharos, but I love Mega Ampharos. But like Sharpedo, like I think that mon is horrible and you should never run it ever. So like there's definitely a lot of megas that like, or Meowstic, like just strictly worse Mega Alakazam. Like I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. But something with like I don't know. Heracross. So what's a good example? Like a Lucario. Like, is it the best Pokemon? No, but like, is it something that is like threatening in both forms that people would have to prepare for? Like, absolutely. Like, I think that's a pretty decent one. So none of the Z Megas are in there. So Garchomp doesn't have 2, Lucario doesn't have 2, Absol doesn't have 2.
Okay. So when you say like declare Mega ahead of time, do you just mean that Pokemon has to be running the stone, or are you?
I meant if in the original vision I had for this was like you draft Mega Floette. So if you bring Floette,
it has to have
like you can't just be like clicking Moonblast with regular Floette. Like it has to Mega.
It has to.
Is more what I meant by that.
Seems
which I get, like it has some downside. Like I do not get me wrong, I'm pretending that doesn't
also,
exist.
Just like my thing is that a lot of the weather megas, like when I was running Frostlass, there were a lot of times where I would wait 1 or 2 turns to Mega to bait out their weather coming in or something like that, and I feel like it just makes the Mon a lot worse if you have to do it immediately.
I think that's fair and that's real. Like I said in the chat, I think it's a real counter argument. I think for a lot of megas, those situations do not happen nearly as much as people pretend they do. Like Floette. Yeah. Like who's sticking out there with a regular Delphox, Gardevoir, Gengar. Like these are all things that you're just clicking it immediately. Like there's simply Dragonite. Like there's no reason to wait. Like the mega ones, I can definitely hear the argument for, and like Torpedo obviously gets a benefit, but like, I guess like Gyarados is another one where you might want the ground resist, but for most of the Glimmora, who cares? Like you're clicking it every time. Kangaskhan, like if the Intimidator is already on the field, like you're gonna Mega and you're gonna click Double Edge and you're gonna kill something. Like you don't need to keep your Scrappy for anything.
Yeah. don't know, tricky. I guess we'll just all be drafting 75 megas and have to cry when.
Also, someone changed the Rotom to Rotom Heaton. I don't know who that was. That's gas.
Fire. That's heat.
Bang.
Let's see. Any other things that we should talk about? What's on my docket?
Is there anything else for like the Mega? Oh, I forgot you were sharing. I haven't looked at your screen in like an hour.
I haven't really
Um,
done anything with my screen other than scroll up and down on this Pokemon list. So
that's good. I feel like what else matters in this format? I think you need a Tailwind setter. Like this format is very much being played at very high speed tiers. Like you cannot leave the draft without one unless you're like hard room every week and you're the only person doing it.
yes.
But like I said, I mean, maybe it's different in like a draft format where like Reuniclus might be a problem, but what are you setting up Trick Room for most of the time?
Are there like even 10 reasonable Tailwind setters though?
Well, just off the top of my head, we have Talonflame, Whimsicott, Aerodactyl are like the big three.
Yeah.
What else exists? Dragonite gets it. So if
That gets it. Okay.
you know who gets it? Volcarona gets
I was
it.
gonna say yeah, Volcarona also does get it.
Pelipper gets it, although it's I found it like impossible. Vivian gets it. So we're at like 70.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more that we're
Raichu does not get it.
but it gets Electroweb. It's like the same thing.
That is true. Well, for Rotom forms, it's obviously we both agree you can't be
Yeah, you.
well off.
There should be 6 Rotom forms drafted almost certainly, just like last time. And I think that's fine.
But what about for other things? Like, are we keeping it the same with like?
I have all of the forms separate, like the 2 Basket Legion forms.
Yeah.
I have absolutely different. They're just Pokemon. I don't care that they have the same Pokedex number. That like Typhlosion Hisui is not the same as regular Typhlosion.
See,
Like
that
they should
is
be
just
different.
too different. I think. I guess the
What
same
else?
is true for Basket Legion.
Yeah, Basket Legion is probably the closest one of all the
There's
forms
like
that are the same, and they're.
there's
I think Tatsugiri is probably the only thing I kept. Tatsugiri even legal? No, it's not even legal. Never mind. I think the Meowstic forms are different, but they're both terrible. Zoroark has to be different. They are. They don't even share anything.
Yeah. Okay. Is there normal Gudra?
Yes, I think they both are legal.
Okay. Well, you got anything else to tell the people?
What else matters in this format? I feel like I haven't seen a lot of setups. Like Haze probably isn't great. Taunt can definitely be very good. Like I do think Whimsicott is a very good Pokemon in this. I don't. It wasn't legal in our last one. I don't think.
Right.
But I think it's like by far the best support mon. Like if any of anything like 8 and above, like it's really the only support Pokemon up there. And then like the 7 gets like Rotomosh in there, who's very good. But like Whimsicott is, I think personally, very worth the price tag. That's a very good Pokemon.
Ooh, have you tried out or run against much Meganium? Or how?
I have Talonflame on my team, so if they do bring it, I simply never care. It's also it's like decently especially bulky, but it's still not super good into Floette because it doesn't threaten anything on the back end.
Yeah.
I do think Meganium is very good.
It
Having
seems
omnipresent sun,
yeah,
regardless of what's happening, is very good.
just so fun to use.
It is. I think the typing still holds it back. Like it dies to a lot, especially on the physical side. And I guess from like a speed tier standpoint, like it is still slower. Like base 80 is great,
Yeah.
but I think it's kind of like Gengar in the sense of it's a mega that if you are really good at using the mega, it will carry your team and be like the best thing you can imagine. But if you can, like, I think the skill floor on it is very, very low. Because if you can't position it well, it's just going to come in against like a Pelipper and die to Hurricane. And then, like, what are we
Yeah.
doing? Other than that, I don't think I think Mega Glim is like pretty good, but like it just does Glim stuff. But
Yeah.
I think Frostlass is like kind of overrated personally. I think it abuses
I've
teams
had
without
fun
like
with
wide
it,
guard.
but yeah, it definitely feels exploitable for sure. And there's a lot of stuff that can just have a random ghost type move and one shot it anyway. So
Yeah, that also suffers from the it does drop to a physical move, assuming like any super effective physical move, even with I can like dies to Incineroar Flareblitz through Aurora Veil in the snow or something ridiculous like that. Maybe that was Talonflame it dropped to. I don't know. It was something bananas where I didn't think it would kill and it died. I was like, oh, really a threat.
epic.
There's a few other megas that are lower on the list that I won't out as being as something I think is really good. But I think a lot of the new ones are like probably worse than the old ones. I know like Scoville and got number one on the ladder or some nonsense, but like I'm not good enough, so
Yeah.
it's none of my.
Well, also, I guess in regards to things you should be drafting, do you think it's important to bring an Intimidator or something like that with how much white herb is available to be used and the amount of like just random defiant or clear body or whatever?
Is there a ton of clear? I think the only clear body stuff.
Pretty
I guess
much.
there's a lot of like scrappy and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like essential that you draft an intimidator. I do still think they're really good. Like I will probably pick up Gross because I think they do the thing you want them to do very consistently. Even though don't look at how many times I brought Tauros, I 2 times, but I do think that there's absolutely a place for it. Even though we know like everyone's gonna have white herb, I do think white herb is still like it obviously helps you in the one situation where you get to proc white herb and keep your stats, but like that doesn't stop it from coming in later, and then you just don't have an item anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that absolutely matters.
Yeah, and I guess with
But
the
something
format getting slowed down, there's a lot of time for pivoting in and out with Intimidators.
which I'll be curious to see, since it's not like every team's gonna have an Incineroar to be like a pivot crutch. Like I'll be curious if the format like in draft actually speeds up a little because
Mm.
you're bringing like Vivian. You can't pivot with a Vivian. Like
Yeah. Well, I think I've exhausted all of the things I have to say about this format. I'm loving it. I think it's very fun. I've not played it nearly as much as I should have, just because I've been busy as hell. But um, it's very fun. I really like low power. Like in Scarlet Violet, I played way more the first few regs than any of the later ones, especially once legendaries or restricteds, I guess, got added. Like it feels so nice. And like also I'm still low ladder, but seeing such a varied cast of characters is so fun.
yeah, I think there's kind of it's definitely at a place where like if you're smart, everything is good enough to be like brought and used. Even like I don't know, Garbode or Toxic Stall, you could probably make work. Like if you really wanted to.
I saw someone earlier post a what the fuck was it? It was Garbodor with weak armor and white herb, and Attract, I think they were running.
Oh my god! I would. I that see. I'm glad you can forfeit. I'm glad you can forfeit at instant speed in this game because I simply don't have time for that. That's a very underrated addition. The fact that like my rock slide can miss and I can be in the lobby before my opponent even knows it missed is incredible.
Yeah.
The only other thing I want to note, there are only 8 of us this time, so like the regular season's only take less than 2 months. And assuming we don't pick up another person, which if we do, I will. Everyone will get a buy, and like if people have vacation or something planned, so we're getting to like June, I will plan around that. But if we do not add another person, like the schedule I already have in the thing.
Oh, did you cook it up, or is it just a?
I could. It's different than it was
Okay.
last because you could with two.
Starting with
It just wouldn't have worked with 10 people.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Gave yourself.
I do feel like the. I don't want to say the quality of the opponent is higher, but I feel like every game feels important. I guess.
With only 7 games, and also just like now, everyone involved has knowledge, I guess, because like they either played in the last one or they've played Pokemon before. I guess I don't know as much about Colin's experience. I know he's fucked around a bit and he played Pokemon Go, and not that that has any relevance here, but I think Colin could potentially, especially with what you're saying about it just taking brain power to make any mon good, he could be the sleeper pick. He could take it all.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot.
What's up, Justin?
That would be sick. Yeah, I do. I do feel like there's gonna be a lot less. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter for like because we are still gonna play open team sheet, but like I think there's a lot more routes you can take your builds, like beyond like Terra shenanigans. Like kind of at least like looking at my team last year, like everything you kind of knew what it was gonna attempt to do, unless like I brought support Hydreigon or something like a little more niche. In this one, like you're playing Mystery Mega probably for like 4 of the 10 slots on their team. Like it's gonna be pretty hard to build.
Yeah, I do also like. Obviously, if you're bringing 4 Pokemon that have the ability to Mega, that's different. But um, I do kind of appreciate that not every Pokemon can Mega, like with Terra. Like before, you had to question every Pokemon could Terra at any point in time. Now it's like, okay, well, 1 or 2 of the guys on their team are gonna click this button in this game.
Yeah, I remember building for like Sam last year. It was like, oh, like the Garganackle could be Terra Ghost. It could be Terra Water. It'd be a rock type, and he tries to pivot something else in. Like it was just a pain in the ass to make sure I was getting what I wanted out of building for his team.
Yeah. So I guess in some ways I think it will be more straightforward, and in some ways it'll be tougher. But hell yeah, looking forward to it.
So I guess I'll play with the prices in the sheet, and then beyond that, we'll plan to draft Tuesday, the 28th. Nobody told me that's a bad idea.
Yeah, I think that seems reasonable. And then would you want to try to start playing that weekend or wait until the next?
I'm fine. I might selfishly want the next weekend because if we draft Tuesday, I'm not gonna be able to play Thursday, and then I will be busy that weekend, so I won't be able to play like Friday, Saturday, like maybe Sunday night I could play.
Yeah.
But I'm open to whatever. I'm playing. I think I'm playing PJ week 1, and I know quite literally about nothing he's gonna build, so I'm just gonna build some good stuff nonsense, as opposed to trying to like counter things.
Hell yeah. There's something I'm forgetting, I think, but oh well. Oh yeah, shout out Will Stump for buying a house.
That's what we. I've been in it. It's a nice place. He's doing a ton of work to it, which could not be me, but it is. It's decent space, and it's gonna look very nice when he's done with it.
Hell yeah.
There's also, if you ever come up, there's a gasoline Mexican place at the end of his street that is like decently cheap and very. The margars are pretty mid, but the food itself is very good.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, this has been a Dying Man Productions Pokemon podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Kill me.